I I return. I guess. Um, I honestly don't remember at all what I was doing. So I have a point. I guess I have two. But yeah, I don't. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I don't remember what I was doing. It's been a while. You know. I think I remember I wanted to boost my um volition a little bit. I think. What was I gonna do with volition? Oh, I remember that was a glitch for like the filing cabinet. Just, God damn it. Volition, volition. I'm gonna go try those volition checks and see what happens. I think I might have I don't remember if I have enough money to stay here.
Hi again, gendarme.
Darn.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Never mind. I don't have composure. What are my thoughts? Book collector, Guillaume. So I remember that one that lets you see farther. And pretty unique, but not like it's useful. Not very useful. Just let me do that. Filing cabinet, come on.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you. The drawer slides.
Yeah, do I have any gear that boosts volition? Nope. Nope. No. Nope. 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 No. Certainly not. What about... Damn it. Well...
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you.
Let's give it a go.
You're trying hard, but the data here is unbelievably dry. Something about containers.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay.
The drawer slides shut smoothly.
Damn filing cabinet. I think the other one was Joyce. Wait, I'm not gonna do it. I need thoughts that get me volition. I need volition. I need to be volatile. No, I need to be liberal with my That's why I chose to be an ultra liberal, because I could be a liberal with what I volit to. Yeah.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
What the fuck is
More lessons in basic reality?
Alright.
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
I guess I'll try.
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Okay, we're making some.
Fine.
We're going somewhere.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Ooh.
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
I mean, I'm curious.
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Inter-isolary, separative tissue, and so it's between the isolas?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale.
Okay.
Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Windy, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
Okay.
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, so an isola is just like a dot of, or, and like an island. It's not just the land, but an insulind is an. So an isola is a region that is entirely surrounded by Pale, and as far as I can tell, most of these are islands, and the islands are like. So, this is an island, so it's an island surrounded by water, which is then surrounded by Pale.
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
What? It's the Pale. Huh?
The negation of being.
That's right. The negation of being.
Huh? How do we boat shit if we go in the Pale and you just like disappear and die or rather are deleted like matter in contact with dark matter?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla. An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse.
Huh?
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
I don't know what any of that means. What?
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
It... Porch collapse?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
There's a slippery article in there.
Pale when it's particular, this territory of Pale. The Pale when it's pale in its entirety. Once you've seen it, language balks at the difference.
So, it's not just the negation of being, it's the negation of... all? Mathematics stops working? Language? What is this? The infinite expanse of Babel? Making language not work? What?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost. Or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
Is it like... some kind of... trauma? No, it couldn't... Like... Do you know the wizard from Inscription? The one with the bug eyes? I forget what it's... Sensory deprivation. Like, mental deprivation? I mean, I'm sure your body would stop working too if the numbers ain't working.
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory
Hey.
deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
I can't help but think of the Pale driver over yonder who was just like thinking deep about like imagining herself to be in an olden time.
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue. It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Damn. It's only just under 4 times.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
Oh, I guess that's a good thing.
You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she says.
Up to my gills, officer. Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
It is kind of an... Just going back to the rhetoric quote, it is a kind of interesting thought that the original Pericarnassian peoples, where they lived probably on the coast as many early civilizations did, they just sort of chilled out. They just kind of they lived on the ocean, I would assume, and or a river near the ocean, and only off to the west was the Pale visible. I mean, I know it takes quite a long time, or a lot of distance to even start seeing it, at least in this case, in Revachol, but imagine just standing on the coast, or if it doesn't even have to be the coast, every other direction is land.
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely. Then they don't.
The point of reference for motion. If you're suspended, the plane doesn't move.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Oh god.
What do you think, Detective? Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate.
We're screwed.
An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists. Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same. It doesn't look like you're doing the same. The suggestion was meant in earnest, Detective. Live life.
We're fucking screwed.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective.
If ever that Disco Elysium sequel happens, which it won't. Mr. Dubois, Harry Dubois versus an existence completely subsumed by the Pale.
Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Maybe the boring option, but...
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
They'll remember me.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
Good luck, detectives.
Good God. So, world's ending. Great. Don't need no sun explosion or any of that shit. We just got the Earth, or the circles. I suppose that's what happens when you got 8,000 years of recorded history. It's all gotta go somewhere. But now that I have more volition, I can go check out... I could do that, check out Clazy. The electronic doorbell. And the filing cabinet. Don't we love filing cabinets? I forgot that's not a trash can, that's a mailbox.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. East Delta Commerce Center? This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. No! Hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions.
Damn.
Forget it. Find something else to do.
Okay, I guess I'll go look at a filing cabinet. I can't mentally handle slipstream, but I can handle filing cabinets. Oh, hopefully. I'm talking to that guy about the tribunal. There.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked
Damn
door.
it.
You're trying hard, but the data here is unbelievably dry. Something about
I
containers.
need to know about the containers. They
Drawer.
have drugs in them or something. I guess I'm never getting in there. I can't boost my volition anymore. If you know of any way to boost my volition a little bit, I must know. Because this is... What if I just... Let me see if I can get anything else out of Clazy, because I know drama is big on that she's lying about literally everything, but I want that volition back up. Because I don't know what volition's gonna... what he's gonna say.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation. Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear. She nods, then nervously pulls on her cigarette.
Okay.
That's not where it is.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
Damn it, I don't know where the volition check is. I need to look up my own YouTube channel really quick to figure out what that dialogue tree was. Just hold. Just shan't take but a moment.
This window is
Town. Call 8-100-2.
the emergencies desk. What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late. Sometime after. I know I have not been 100. Why? Why would I put myself through this? I did not kill him. Asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. I thought they... so they wouldn't be hurt.
She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand. When stones at him for 3 dead bushel.
Sorry, just. Just for the moment.
Not silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. Your eye.
That can be arranged.
She nods silently. It's right there. Or
Just for the moment.
he's thinking.
Should we just hold on? Where is it? Where is it?
Yes, miss. I hope you don't mind. All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
I don't think I can do the. Where is the check?
Sure. I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why I hid it.
Why else?
I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. No, I'm not.
My colleague has an exploratory sense of humor.
Ah.
Don't hold it against him.
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Okay.
She nods silently,
Damn
then
it, where's
picks up
the-
the cold coffee
where
and
is
holds
it?
it in her hands.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her.
There may be grounds here. At least,
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
I did. There was an old
That is, anyone could know.
What time did you...
Thursday night.
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you,
Where is
officers.
it?
But I am now.
Can't access Classy volition check? No, not can't access Classy physician. I'm gonna cover most of the screen so I don't spoil myself. I've got my hand over it.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
God, did I mess it up?
Lie.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. She nods, then nervously pulls on her cigarette.
Okay.
There may be grounds here.
A little whimper. The young
Can we
woman
do
hears
it? Can
you.
we arrest her?
She's looking around. She nods, then
You said there was a secret route there. She could have come up.
then slipped back.
Interesting theory.
Yes.
The peephole.
The peephole.
You mean to suggest...
No.
She's not really sure. It was right above the bed. She could have seen all sorts of things.
Okay.
Well, shit.
She slowly
I guess I'm never getting that volition check. Annoying. This is a lie. This is a lie. Annoying. Well, according to what I read, which of course is not very much because I don't want to spoil myself, I guess I don't know. I guess I can't. Maybe I can't do it when I return. So... Take a path, I guess. I'm honestly a little pissed off. Why is the... Did I just buy into all her shit? Oh well. I guess I'll just clean up the trash. Okay, I'm not a little pissed. I'm a lot pissed. I had a whole fucking plan about this. And I guess the game just says, you know what? You can't make that volition check. You can retry
Kuno's
it,
like
but not
Kuno's
really.
dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything. Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit.
Oh.
Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters F-A-L-N running down his trouser leg.
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit.
Performance
Made in
crotch.
Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists. Believe it, you need this shit.
He unzips his jacket to give you a quick peek at the plastic-wrapped pants. They are graphite black and look brand new.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready. They will also make you into an idiot.
Alright, Pico, shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
Okay.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker? 'Cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Yes.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
Sure.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes putting two and two together here.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah, get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
I guess it is pretty rickety.
Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
Dunno. Kiptas Gardner used to work there.
Ooh, they didn't censor that one.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Erie-Uppergite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Erie-Uppergites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno. The fuck does this have to do with the Kuno? Kuno doesn't give a shit who she is.
Well, might as well have said something.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck do you want with it? Good
Okay,
call,
never mind.
Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Guess I can maybe go across the bridge? Probably not, though. And you know what? Screw it. Let's go do that. Oh. A thing. Scribbled between the thighs of a page 3 girl. La Origne du Disco. That was definitely not the way to say that. It's probably the original disco.
A rusting control. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
Splendid. They locked the water.
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust for now. I don't want us to get sidetracked, not with everything that's going on.
New ground. And I guess that means more change. The radio relay hums with electricity. Elysium? Traffic beyond the gate. More abandoned motor lorries. The sign says no entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Well, I got a little bit of... I don't have something to say to that. Oh. Jamrock Biker Cop Summoners. Empathy. Feel the streets. Logic. Leave the reason behind. For taking your Harman Rue Supersonic out for a ride on the streets of Janrock, where your heart is buried. Empathy's good though. I need to offset some of my crippling losses. A breaker box to power the radio pylon above you. Maybe there's something inside? Hooray, there was! Ahead, decades of old concrete defenses. Children play on them now. Is that the radio hooligan car? Hold on, I found it. Yeah, it is. Someone's broken down the fence and the barbed wire. The creaking ahead. A broken axle grinding. Ah, stupid. Dumbass drove onto an ice float. I wonder it. A bottle drained of all its booze is frozen to the ice. The ice just off the coast crackles, shifting.
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
Aha!
It appears to be so. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
Oh dear.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists. A single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles, but this one looks worn even in places the salt water hasn't touched it. The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
I guess the monkfish are gonna get subsumed by the pail too.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider jacket.
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Oh, cool.
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight, dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around. The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance, then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill.
Oh.
Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water and the sunken car. The wind blows. In the distance, behind the church, some vagrants are having an argument over a bag of tear they found in the reeds. Further away, a flock of seagulls lands. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
I know this is gonna be talking about like the eye condition, but I feel like that's gonna be like racism. So
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
oh, is it a guy?
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Coupris, Model 40.
Yes. Why haven't you?
Did I get it right or wrong?
It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, You know, those kinds of people. Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
41.
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical.
Um... 41. I mean...
Does he know something about that speed racer?
You stupid factory.
But it could also be the number of a police precinct. Precinct 41. Your precinct.
What, huh?
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you.
What?
Oh God, Harry. Oh God, Harry. What did you do?
What?
No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this.
I was the street hooligan all along?
The lieutenant just shakes his head.
There were never any street racers. It was always you. You drove your car in the sea. I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
They're gonna take me back after this, are they?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
People, yes, but not you.
Maybe I was in pursuit.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk. Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point. That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well,
Damn.
not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
This is a disaster!
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
Oh no!
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything.
They're gonna kill me when I get back to the precinct. They're all gonna shoot, take out their guns, and I won't be able to fight back because I don't have mine.
You can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah, I guess I can.
Yes, let's go take a look.
Music is different. Footprints in the snow. They lead away from the accident. Wait, what did that say? Is that my ID?
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
My badge.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct. The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge.
Oh.
8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
I'll deal with that later.
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
It's kind of sad. I used such an old picture for that.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't. It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
A name like armor.
I think that's pretty fitting then.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
Rank.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Because that's good.
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Freighter.
Oh.
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's decontage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors, out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
I thought my rank was drunk.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary.
I don't want to get better. I want to get worse.
I don't really know how to respond to that, Lieutenant W. Freighter. Decontage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol Citizens Militia. It means counting down to twos.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which in turn was developed by last century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings.
I mean, maybe a few, trainees or something.
Kings like satellite officers and the additional Freighter rank I already explained.
Okay.
You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite. No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work.
That's good at least.
It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
Hooray!
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads,
Cereal!
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
Fun numbers.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
What year is it? I forgot.
4 months ago.
Oh.
I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
Precinct 41.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
Isn't 41st Jamrock?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Never heard of him.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. He knew all those people, although they're not from his station. They must be big. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
And RCM Commander's Jacket. Spirit Decor Visual Calculus. Oh, that's good. A black uniform jacket with RCM's signature white rectangle on the right sleeve and backside. Letters inside the collar read LTN-2JFR. The jacket is of exceptional quality, other than some minor wear and tear. I guess there was, after all, the Joyrider jacket. Just, I think I prefer the shivers. Shivers here.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
I would have thought he was a bit older. Yeah, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take this. I mean, the logic thing doesn't work at all, but -1 difficulty to physique passives. More shivers, I guess. Oh, and I can retry Spirit Decor. Banged up fuel canister. A dented stainless steel canister for transporting and storing heavy fuel oil. The logo on its side has been partially stripped over years of use. The government issued red dyed fuel oil inside looks like paint, though it smells much worse. Wait, someone dropped their cash on the ice floe.
This is it. The scene of the party. The fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it. Not as such. I'm talking about what came after the party scene. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Okay. There's a boat tucked away under the tarpaulin cover. Is this the fishing village? Through the broken glass, dusty shelves, and a forgotten chair. What the? The cold breeze is enough to make the wall planks creak. Postcard from Coal City? This postcard depicts a forest of smokestacks releasing fat plumes of smoke into blue, cloudless sky. The tinge of age, the color of old teeth, gives it a sickly look. Written on the back is a single sentence, repeated twice. I got out. I got out. No addressee. Bona 2 drama? You gotta be kidding me. You're sure that wearing this tie is a statement? You're not sure what kind of statement, though. You see a dark red chair in the dim light of the room. Someone has left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. Yes, let's pathfind. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time. The wind is corralled by the 4-story buildings around this yard. Glory, says the graffito, to the ghosts of us. A whole dollar. Tape. Smallest church in Sans. I don't remember how to pronounce it. The tape you found from a shack on the coast. The A side has smallest church in Sounds written on it, while the B side is supposed to contain an instrumental version. Requires a boombox to play. I can do karaoke now, I think. Sounds of life in the north. A washboard scrubs filth from the fabric. Cinder blocks, charred, a makeshift fire pit with magazines for lighting. The bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through. What? I've talked to the seat? What?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder.
Oh, it's just a...
Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
What does that say? Allez vous sein. Inter-Isolary Kingdom of Conscious. Is that the what? Moralist pants. Oh. Tailored trousers in light brown. Moderate in every aspect. They're absolutely unremarkable. In other words, perfect. You see dust-covered linens, dried tulips on the bed. White curtains have been drawn shut. No looking in. A wedding stone, well worn and covered in rust. The underside of the boat has recently been tarred. Hello. Before I do that, though, I should do a bit of green. Oh, what? Sorry, yellow stat. The planks creak when you're weight. The ladder leads to a schooly fish swimming in the kelp. The boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. British. Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots. Thank you, Shivers. Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride into the night. The heel comes in handy too. It definitely makes you some good 5 centimeters taller, but it could be that it's also making you sharper, more perceptive to your surroundings. Now that you've gained a new perspective, you know what? I'm going to make a decision. Screw indirect modes of transportation. Or taxation. I need my empathy back. And I'll just get back to begging really hard. Go Anti-Object Task Force.
Hi, officer.
A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from her hip.
Anything I can help you with?
Where
A
are
fishing
we?
village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place. The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
Forward.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
Mainstream scientists deny exist.
Aha! Like snowmen. 2 old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Oh.
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Perfect.
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Perfect.
Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
No.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
What do you do around
Like
here?
I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now, I'm tarring a little skiff. I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic insular Indian cuisine.
I doubt it.
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Oh.
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
A mine? The RCM could use one of those.
Well, the RCM has to wait for another one because some army folks came by, took it in the middle of the bay and blew it up. The blast was surprisingly timid for such a huge spiky thing.
Spiky must have been a naval contact mine.
Indeed.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Nice sword.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks mostly.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Yeah, like, did you have to fight people off?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
figures. Typical patriarchal nonsense. Masculine venomosity.
Sure. Venomosity. But boys will be boys, and God knows we don't have many around. So far, the sword has been enough to keep them in line.
Can I borrow?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check would put me in an early grave.
Why don't more women arm themselves?
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for
No,
you.
I'm not showing her
Show
the
her.
wonder. What did?
Show
what?
her the wonder. Coach means the expression.
Behold.
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
So I guess all the men
Some
actually
went to
left.
patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone.
The harbour seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Revachol. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
That is nothing. I shit on death.
I don't. But us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village, where 2 little kids are playing with what looked like rocks.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Oh, no. 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 No.
Were you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the union building? What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
That Evrart and the union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess union members have children too.
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
Well, she could just say no.
Aye. Why not? Fine. Here you go.
Wait, why did you sign
I
it?
shouldn't have.
It's a youth
That's
center.
what I asked you. It's a youth centre and I have children. Got to give them something else to do. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. I had my first drink when I was 11 because I was so bored. Anyhow, you also need Isabel's signature. If it's a bad idea, she won't sign. You'll find she's a tougher nut to crack than me.
Sound logic. Division of labor. She leaves the skepticism to the skeptic.
Why do you want Harrier Dubois? Why do you want to hit on her? God damn. You can't see into the house from this angle. Wow, thanks. It's locked, you say? Well, I have a couple of things to say. Have a better idea. Okay, well, shit. Construction material. Whoever plans to build this house left in a hurry. Locked container? What about? Give me a shit. I hope all this ray out gives me another night of rest. The street sign is illegible below the graffito. Hard to see the details. The colors, all warm and welcoming, are cozy, though. Door is closed for today. Time to put the kids to sleep. A flower trough where nothing really grows. Maybe in spring. So I think this is actually rust-eaten letters read Mazoot. I think it was that, like, a little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. I think Mazoot is like drugs or something. Excuse me, lads. You.
Hey, tequila!
A 30-something man clad in a two-piece lycra tracksuit puts down his pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you called someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street Gang.
I have re-entered reality to conquer it. I am the law.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image, long time ago. Those days are over now.
He looked at his shit-stained lycra jacket with a grim expression.
Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom's Spiral Land.
His name?
Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
He calls himself Idiot Doom Spiral.
Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
What are you guys doing right here?
We are saving the world.
You know, since his name is Idiot Doom Spiral and he looks like his head is melting, I bet this guy is rather I appreciate that he's probably gonna be talking a little bullshit, and yet his he sounds like, yes, we are saving the world.
Please don't go. Don't go.
Begs the man in the pipe.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. It's you. You're Tequila Sunset. We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
Maybe?
Maybe. You look like you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be. You look like you want to hear the tale.
The tale.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
Was I alone?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting.
Okay, bro.
You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
That's like the highest of concepts. This guy's really looking out for them tall concepts.
It is. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
I mean, his brow's furrowed, but as far as I could tell, his poker face is, you know, pretty intact. So I hope he'll be totally cool with all this tequila sunset nonsense.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this, we get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
There's something really familiar about this guy. He is...
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed.
Some kind of storyteller. It kind of reminds me of how I try and make things interesting. It's like this guy's a burnt-out theater kid. And, well, okay, I'm not a theater kid, but... yeah, and fucking, just... This guy kind of speaks like me. Also, this guy's kind of like a bunch of things I am most certainly not and will never be.
Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
3 men are standing on a wooden platform extending out from the shore of a dilapidated fishing village. Their cheeks red, spirits high, beers in hand, eyes glazed over.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach, you revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things."
Every word I said was true.
Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
In this way, you and your motor carriage have a lot in common.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. Yeah, I agree. Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women.
You know, actually, this guy reminds me of, like, shitty commentators on YouTube. Like not... Sorry, one second. A shitty commentary YouTuber, like the kind of low effort content scum that you'd see just reading Reddit posts or like Tumblr posts with like the unbearable smugness yet completely smug, but has just enough skill to get popular, but not enough skill to actually be very compelling.
How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Yeah, he sounds like really cynical.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Okay, Rosemary with his...
Abigail.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Idiot Doom Spiral does most of the talking, too.
Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Oh, yes, definitely.
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
I wonder what happened to my partner.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
Do we talk about politics?
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve.
Okay, what? This guy's lamenting his failed business ventures, and he's like, yeah, the invisible hand. Yeah, it does everyone. Yeah, invisible hand.
You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
As you've already determined, the actual number is 216. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
Yeah, it's just a little over double.
No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
And yet he talks about it frequently.
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
You were literally... This guy's only good at... He only talks.
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
You might get scammed here.
Booze. Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
Camera red.
Classy.
He snatches the bottle and pushes the cork in through the bottleneck.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail!
I'm rotating my head right now to get a good look at Don't Call Abigail's portrait. He looks sad more than anything.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Creative services agency. I wonder what that means.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person,
What?
high concept stuff.
Okay.
I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours.
I have a feeling he's just lying.
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
He says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants.
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
In that way, we are the same.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard.
There's a trace of derision in his
I made
voice.
my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key. I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office. I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best. Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there.
Yeah, I feel like he's just... Okay.
But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me. So they tossed me in jail for 2 days.
Well, okay.
I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice, too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending your days picking tear.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me.
Somehow I just left all my keys and all my shit everywhere.
Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
A lost jacket? Sounds like a mystery you could look into.
What's the name?
My agency. Now. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Rebishal who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
I mean, I was kind of wondering, That's so high concept. My own logic is giving me this. So.
Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising. Maybe you're right. Who knows? Maybe we were behind the curve? We were fucking rich, though. That much I know. What? You've never seen 100% lycra before? Go on. Feel that primo material.
The man extends his arm.
You really shouldn't touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
Ooh.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it.
Oh.
Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to.
I guess it's the only thing he has of his previous lifestyle. So even though it feels like shit and it's gonna make him die.
And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time. My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, they're exactly what they look like.
Hey, tequila! You want to buy some speed?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call Abigail.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less.
Or maybe it's the only thing he has.
Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila? If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market. Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it.
Okay.
I'm all ears, Tequila. What's in a name?
Hey, Spiral Boy, you can...
Don't call Abigail.
Shut up, guy. I was once a reason. I developed
I wanna,
the paradigm.
I wanna,
it did, but now one day I let
his eyes.
So I was halfway done with. I made my way. Naturally, the situation, reality. So I made my way across. People are not just. But when anyway. So now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think?
Do you realize
like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
All your own fault?
I don't remember you being such a dick before, Tequila.
He takes a slow, despondent sip from his bottle, then looks across the bay towards the glittering lights of the La Delta at night.
That doesn't mean you're wrong, though. Anyway, that was all the tale one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
I honestly can't tell if he's just bullshitting this. He seems the strangely theatrical sort, and a lot of the actual details are really vague and also really stupid. Like not having any of his keys and his girlfriend automatically leaving him because he was homeless because he couldn't get into his apartment. And like all of his business ventures are super vague. It's like he's getting them out of thin air.
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
He spins the bottle in his hand. Not a single drop of liquid remains.
Cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned.
Darn.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Why does art inspire you so much?
Well, very high concept.
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, Art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Oh, I'm gonna be an artist.
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes.
Savage for real.
Disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
Is architecture also art?
Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture while extolling the virtues of the pure arts.
Is music art, or is that more buildings?
Only the most experimental kind.
I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop. Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home.
Okay, 50% art critic is what's needed to free me from rote repetition.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
I have an actual art degree? Yeah, it's another coppa type. The worst one. The most savage and brutal. The art cop. Nothing is good enough for him. Everything is shit. You have to employ an armada of adjectives to depict and demean the mediocrity of the works and visual institutions around you. Really flex that critical muscle until the vocabulary for punishing mediocrity becomes second nature. Here we go. Hell yeah. Actual art degree. And the mere fact that I have the boots on completely negates the loss. Grumbles an unshaven man with a ruddy nose. He narrows his eyes at you, as if in recognition, then turns his head away.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
I am the law.
Right. You might have found one person who doesn't know you are the law, given how drunk he is.
Abigail. Oh, Abigail.
He mutters while trying to brush something off of his extremely dirty trousers. His movements are slow and awkward.
Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Don't call Abigail.
I guess that's his name.
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible. He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer.
He's gonna yell in my ear.
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
There's no use in yelling at drunks. He's barely holding it together.
The drunk man starts coughing, a really disgusting, hacking cough.
Well, worth a shot.
Don't you fucking call her. Hear me? Abigail? Don't call.
Slowly, his head nods off to the side, and he passes out, tongue dangling from his mouth.
There was little chance he'd be a reliable witness anyway.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
Blue medicinal spirit. That's gotta be some... Why does the bottle of spirits cost 300 real?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture.
Okay.
You know, it's funny, actually.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy.
Huh?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink.
He spits a nasty yellow clot on the ground before you.
Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all.
Have they no shame taking money for a service they provide?
But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead fingers. It's like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila! What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
No wonder... Call me Abigail. Don't call Abigail so drunk. He's gonna die.
Don't say it.
Yeah, be careful. It's extremely flammable. One spark and the entire city of Revachol is wiped off the map.
Feels like someone set a mustard field ablaze right inside your nose, then drenched it in tear gas. Your nose is a singular source of pain, but at the same time you don't remember the last time you felt so alive. In all fairness, that might be attributed to the retrograde amnesia.
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits or not? 3 real and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
Well done.
Perfect.
You got it. That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
If you drink this, then you'll die. That's a fact. And that's why we're going to save you from yourself and store this as a sellable item. Go sell it at the pawn shop for a profit.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard. You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor exquise, sold 2 to the fellows around here, and immediately invested the profit.
In alcohol?
Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got everyone on my hook.
Sure.
The hook? Where is it? I can't see it.
Of course, of course, of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been. People, buddy boy. It's the people.
He's on his own hook. He's got... Yeah, I'm trying to make profits by making them buy their alcohol constantly from me, but... Little do they know, I also buy alcohol for myself.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
Just $6. The liquid has an unearthly blue tint, the kind that might or might not, but definitely does glow in the dark. This is 98.7 pure alcohol. Keep it away from an open flame. I must know, can I give this to Doom Spiral?
Tequila Sun. What's in a...
Hey, Spiral!
Shut up. I was
wait.
once a...
That was the wrong
So
one.
you don't want to just hear the same story again? Okay. Okay. Huh.
I guess the option isn't here right now. Whatever. But I'm gonna save the game because it has been quite a while. And I ought to be doing something else now. I'm honestly, sorry I took so long to get another one of these out. I mean, maybe it's... It just takes me a while, I guess. It takes me a while to do a lot of things. Manana core, am I right? See ya.